Okay, so I finally got together all the pieces that I wanted to do a panning time-lapse video. So I thought I'd show you what I put together and the pieces of what I'm going to go do. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to use the Sony Action Cam. This is the newest version of the Action Cam. This is the AS100V. This is the mounting bracket that lets it convert into a 1/4-20 standard tripod mount. This is a mount for my tripod that I have modified, and we'll discuss that in a minute. This is the quick mount for the Sony Action Cam to let it adapt onto one of their quick mounts. This is the Ikea ordering kitchen timer. It's a 1-hour kitchen timer. This one's still in the box, obviously. When I went to Ikea, I bought 2 of them. So this is one, and this is the one that I've actually modified, and I'll explain what I did. So as you can see, the kitchen timer has a very flat top and a flat bottom. So I took one of the Sony Action Cam adhesive mounts. I just peeled the backing off of it, and I stuck it and attached it to the flat surface of the kitchen timer. The other thing I did, and you can see on this one, on the bottom of the kitchen timer as it's delivered, it's got this sort of a soft, rubbery material around the bottom of it, I guess to make it sort of anti-skid and anti-scratch, so that when you sit it on your counter or a wooden surface, it doesn't scratch, doesn't move around. So as you can see on this one, I peeled that off, and I used a little bit of remover to take off the adhesive, and I've modified it here. So the other thing I did is I took one of my, this is the quick disconnect for my particular tripod. I have a Vanguard Alta Pro tripod, and so this is one of the, and I bought some additional quick mounts for that. So what I did is I took the 1/4-20 screw that was in the bottom of this mount, and I took it out, and all I had to do was actually, as you can see, slide it to this end, and there's actually some threads in there, and by backing that screw out and then engaging those threads, I was able to get the 1/4-20 screw to come out. And then I wanted to be able to attach and remove the kitchen timer from the mount, so I used some 3M all-weather sort of Velcro stuff, although it's not the Velcro trademark, it's the 3M Scotch material. And so I attached some to this quick disconnect, and I attached a strip to the bottom of the kitchen timer. Same thing, I just used the adhesive, peeled the backing off, and attached it to both items. So now I can push these two together and get a nice tight attachment. And so now this will let me quick in and out put the kitchen timer onto my tripod. So the other thing we need to modify, or not modify, but assemble, is the Sony's quick disconnect, or Sony's mounting bracket for a tripod. So that just screws into here like this. And then we're going to attach it to one of the quick mounts. And so that just goes like this. And we need a coin, which I don't have, so I'll just use my fingernail to get it threaded in there. There we go. So now that's tight in there. So now that will let me attach the Sony Action Cam to the kitchen timer, and we do that just by squeezing these 2 yellow tabs, and then it slides into the quick connect just like that. So the kitchen timer is a 1-hour kitchen timer. So basically we wind it around like this. And now it's going to do, so it does, if you notice, it does a complete 360-degree rotation in an hour. So depending upon what we want to create a time lapse of, we've got to time it so that the interesting part of our time lapse probably occurs within about a 30-minute window, as the Action Cam will rotate around and capture the various images. The other thing we have to pay attention to is the Action Cam. This lens has about a 170-degree field of view, so depending upon where our item of interest is, it'll be in the frame of the images that we're going to create for the time-lapse for quite a while, but I have to remember to make sure that I'm perfectly behind it so that I'm actually not in the image because it has such a broad field of view. So that's the setup. I'm going to go out maybe a little bit later today, catch some time lapses. The other thing that's interesting about this is when you view this from the top down, the kitchen timer rotates in a counterclockwise direction. So the time lapse, or the panning of the time lapses, will always be a right to left pan. There's no way to make the timer go the other way unless we were to sort of, maybe I'll take the other one and I could invert it and do the same set of mounts, but have it being inverted. That would be an idea. Anyway, that's the setup. So after this in the video, we'll include some panning time lapses that I've created. Thanks. Okay, so here we are. I've got the Sony Action Cam mounted on the tripod on the Ikea kitchen timer, and we're just doing a slow panning time lapse, capturing an image every 2 seconds, and we'll do about 20 minutes to get a pan of the city here on with the amount of rotation that we get out of the Ikea kitchen timer. So we'll see how it turns out.